The most threatening collective operating anywhere across Asia right now doesn't come from Korea, doesn't come from Japan. It comes from the Philippines. And threatening doesn't mean controversial. It means something considerably more powerful. They are systematically dismantling an entire industry from the inside. That group is SB19, and the global music establishment is running out of ways to ignore what's happening. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to SB19 Beat Zone as we break down every layer of why. Chapter 1. What threatening actually means. When audiences encounter the word threatening, their minds immediately construct images of scandal and controversy. But SB19's specific brand of threat operates at an entirely different frequency. They are threatening because they categorically refuse to operate within the boundaries the system constructed for artists like them. They challenge those boundaries deliberately, methodically, without requesting permission from anyone. Throughout recent decades, Asian pop operated beneath a rigidly specific architecture, obsessively refined developmental systems, billion-dollar entertainment corporations functioning as gatekeepers, and global marketing machinery determining which artists deserved international attention. SB19 studied that architecture with analytical precision, then executed something that genuinely shocked every observer paying attention. They seized complete control of it for themselves. Chapter 2. They constructed their own machinery. Here's precisely where the genuine threat materializes. SB19 isn't simply a celebrated music collective performing compositions and collecting accolades. They represent a completely self-sustaining creative and commercial enterprise. Beneath 1Z Entertainment's operational framework, they've acquired something that the overwhelming majority of artists operating anywhere in this industry never genuinely possess: complete sovereignty. Creative sovereignty, commercial sovereignty, brand sovereignty over every decision that carries consequence. They compose their own material, they produce their own sound, they determine their own directional trajectory without seeking external validation from any corporate hierarchy above them. And that reconfigures every subsequent possibility, because now they require no institutional permission to evolve artistically, no corporate approval to experiment boldly, no foreign industry validation to confirm their legitimacy. Within an industry architecturally constructed around controlling artists, that quality of independence doesn't just stand out, it represents an existential threat to the entire model. Chapter 3. The algorithm cannot dismiss them. Most people fundamentally misunderstand how digital platforms actually distribute power. YouTube and comparable platforms don't simply reward popularity metrics, they reward engagement intensity, the depth and sustained duration of audience interaction with content. And SB19 has mastered engagement intensity at a level that most artists spend entire careers attempting to approximate. Every comeback, every performance, every release, nothing generates passive viewership. Everything generates active movement. Supporters streaming with coordinated purpose, creating reaction content, conducting analytical breakdowns, executing promotional campaigns across multiple platforms simultaneously. This isn't passive success accumulating gradually. This is active, intentional, community-powered domination operating at scale. Chapter 4. The community that transforms everything. ENHYPEN isn't a conventional supporter community organized around passive consumption. It's a fully operational ecosystem executing with remarkable collective intelligence. They don't simply watch content and move forward with their day. They mobilize with purpose. They coordinate global trending campaigns. They distribute content strategically across every available platform. They defend, amplify, and advocate for SB19 at levels most artists literally cannot dream of accessing. And here's the genuinely threatening dimension that nobody discusses with sufficient seriousness. This mobilization isn't manufactured or coerced through corporate incentive structures. It's completely earned through authentic relationship. Because when supporters feel authentically included within a journey, rather than positioned as consumers of a product, they don't merely support, they become completely unconditional advocates. Chapters 5 through 9. Borders, authenticity, and unstoppable momentum. Rather than petitioning established gatekeepers for international market entry permission, SB19 simply generates demand that makes gatekeeping irrelevant. Japan, broader Asian territories, Western markets. Step by deliberate step, they're constructing genuine presence through digital influence and community-powered expansion that requires no institutional authorization whatsoever. Their music amplifies every strategic advantage they've built, because none of this functions without compositions that carry genuine emotional weight. SB19's sound blends genres with intentional purpose, reflects authentic cultural identity, and communicates meaning that travels across every linguistic and cultural barrier it encounters. In an era where most collectives chase whatever trend algorithm analysis suggests will perform well this quarter, SB19 architects their own sonic identity. And authentic identity travels. Every move they execute feels deliberate rather than reactive. Every release feels like a calculated component of a larger architectural plan rather than an isolated content drop. That's what makes their trajectory genuinely unpredictable to competitors and industry observers alike. While every other act scrambles to respond to whatever trend just emerged, SB19 is quietly positioning themselves for whatever landscape exists 5 years from now. The global music establishment doesn't graciously welcome outsiders, especially those who demonstrate that the establishment's approval was never necessary for genuine success. But SB19 never requested gracious welcome. They simply continued proving themselves in front of audiences who responded with genuine devotion. And here's the uncomfortable institutional reality. Once an artist conclusively demonstrates that the system isn't required for extraordinary achievement, they expose every limitation that system spent decades concealing. Talent, strategic intelligence, complete independence, a genuinely devoted global community, and momentum that compounds with every single move they execute. Momentum is the single most unstoppable force operating within entertainment. Once it reaches critical mass, it expands faster, penetrates deeper, and sustains longer than any corporate campaign ever manufactured. SB19's momentum is currently traveling in one direction only. So when someone asks you why SB19 represents the most strategically threatening force in Asian music right now, you already possess the complete answer. Not controversy, not manufactured hype, not fortunate timing. Something far more permanently powerful. They understood exactly how the system functioned. They mastered every element of it completely. And now they're rewriting every rule it was built upon. The genuine question confronting the global music landscape is not whether SB19 can sustain this trajectory. The question is whether the world fully understands yet what's coming next. Subscribe to SB19 Beat Zone, because the answer to that question is arriving faster than anyone anticipated.